This is the press conference at Tom Dixon's place, where we're permanently exposed, so we're always here with our products. And now we show some new stuff, and well, it's the biggest design moment, I think, in England in the year, so it's important. We just finished a prototype of lampshades, which was inspired by the question to have a lampshade with scrapwood wallpaper on it, because the scrapwood wallpaper is very, very popular. And the funny thing is there's no scrapwood wallpaper in this lampshade, so it's a sort of huge chandelier which can be placed on the ground, but also on the ceiling, of course. And it's almost the simplest system to put a lot of shades together in a constellation one chooses himself. So, and the concept is now it's very simple with steel, which also be probably the cheapest one, but we'll make a ceramic completely in white, a wooden one. So it's more the system and the way to create a lamp and a shape than actually a design. Using scrapwood was very much caused by the fact I'm always looking at materials. So if you don't look at materials, you don't see scrapwood, you don't see the quality. So for me it starts with a person or a designer who's inspired by materials and technique and so on. So in that sense the scrapwood is just a part of the game. But it's an important part because at that moment scrapwood was not at all used for domestic purposes. And I was the first one to actually make cupboards with it, and later on also different products. So I'm very much focused on and inspired by materials. And the other theme is that it was very cheap, and I was a student, so that was nice. And I was able to actually make those cupboards in the working place at school, and I could make the hinges and so on in the steel working place. So I was in fact able to make a very cheap product for myself, and which was actually functioning. If you accept that the world is full of accidents and you try to get the accidents which are positive, you take them, and the negative ones you avoid, then it's no accident. But I always use this because it's quite difficult. What we do is a very organic approach, and the lacquer table is very explicit in this sense, because I made the table, or the project was initiated because I didn't like the idea of throwing materials away which were still good but too expensive. It took too much labor to actually use them. So it was cheaper to buy a huge amount and cut all the legs and then throw the little pieces away, although it might be possible to make a leg afterwards also. So at a certain moment I thought I'd turn it around. If labor is so expensive that we say it's rubbish because labor is so expensive, I might say rubbish is worth a fortune and labor costs nothing. So we made first a stool and then the table with the small pieces, and we just puzzled it. It was an enormous amount of work, which didn't matter because labor was for nothing. And then it had to be finished, and I said, well, just lacquer it 10 times. At least it's a lot of work then. And in the end it was a very nice result. It was, and it's the only way to get this result, actually sanding, lacquering, sanding, lacquering, sanding, lacquering. And so it was an accident, but on the other hand it was on purpose, just to see what happens if you turn things around. In 1993 we immediately started also with metal, and we have a big metal shop, we have a ceramic atelier, we have a spraying cabin, this is logic, but we have upholstery. In fact, all the materials which are available either in our place or we buy the machines, or I know somebody who I like, that's important, and who likes me, and if we want to collaborate it's also available. So for me it's not, I don't have to possess the means, but it should be accessible for me. And if you want to function well, you have to feel like a fish in the water, and feeling like a fish in the water is a Dutch saying, you know. And from that moment on, when I got my degree, I just took one major goal, is to create my own place with nice people and nice customers, and with the opportunities I thought I needed to function well. And knowing that if you function well, you are also making better designs, and if you make better designs you probably are more successful. So I didn't think about the success, I thought about the ground to create success.